Hey, Jackie.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm just hanging out here. Jill's standing beside me if you hear some little...
Oh, is Jill over there?
She's over there, yeah. Hey, Jill!
What's up, Jill?
There she is. Jill says hi, everyone.
So, Jackie's sporting some crimped hair today.
Yes, I love crimped hair. I'm just feeling it. I told Eric, I wish I'd have crimped the whole thing. I only crimped an itty bitty little pinch up here, and it's that big, and I just should have crimped it. It would be straight. I love afros. Weird thing, I know, because obviously I can't have one, but afros are just so, whenever I literally commented on this black girl she's like a naturalista. She has the most beautiful hair, and I commented, and she replied to my comment, and I was like, oh, because she's real popular in the big hair community.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that hair. I was like, I'm so amazed by your hair. I can't believe it, because it was the craziest texture. It's gorgeous, and I don't get it. Why did God not bless me with giant hair? I want giant hair.
Well, because the thing is, it's it would be too much, right?
Oh, would it?
Because you were blessed with a giant personality, and then it's and then if you had big hair on top of it, it would just be it would just be like Jackie Tsunami everywhere you go.
But the problem is, I feel my brain tingles with excitement all the time, so I need my hair to show that. So, when I'm really excited, you can see it in my hair. That's how I feel. Tease it to Jesus.
I think you just gave me the episode title, My Brain Tingles.
Yes, that's a great... I need that on a shirt. My brain tingles. Ask me why.
My brain tingles with excitement.
Yeah, it does. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioning Afro, it just made me thought of, and I wish I knew her site, or her Instagram name, but because I know I know a lot of different Wonder Women now, right? Because I've been doing the Wonder Woman sword, and I get tagged and stuff, and I ran across somebody had posted or reposted. Oh, maybe it was Allison Tabitha did, because she on her Instagram, what is it? The stories thing, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
She shout out to Black History Month. So
oh my gosh, it's like I needed to talk about it, you know, and I didn't even know why. And it's Black History Month. How about that?
Yeah, and she's been, I don't know if you saw any of her posts, but she has been doing shout outs to a lot of amazing African American cosplayers, right? But one of them is an amazing Wonder Woman, and she has the coolest afro, and she looks amazing. It's just I wish I started following her, but I don't think I'll be able to find her, but.
Well, there's one. I follow one that has. She has just gorgeous hair anyway. But Cutie Pie Sensei, she's
I follow her,
and she does a Wonder Woman too. So I instantly thought that's who you were thinking of. But
no,
then
this is another gal, and it's not. And also, do you follow Pantarona?
Yeah.
Or I think that's how you say her name. I follow her as well, and she's also another amazing Wonder Woman. But this other gal, she's new to me, and I was just like, man, I just loved the aesthetic of. This awesome, powerful Wonder Woman with an afro. It was just so cool. Yeah. So
speaking of another, cool. It's great. There's so many. There are a lot of obviously, I don't know, people of color of all different kinds of places. That cosplay. But Alicia Marie is someone that did a really cool afroed version of a character. I believe it was Storm or something. Yeah, somebody from the Marvel Universe, and she did him with an afro, and it was so good.
I saw that too. That was awesome. That was really, really cool. Because I follow her.
It's because I like big hair. That's my thing. And afro is the definitive big hair. So that's funny because there's a show called Drunk History that I love on Comedy Central, and they did an African American episode last night.
Oh, did they?
It was Black Drunk History. Yeah. And it was so good. It had all these amazing actors and actresses, and if you haven't seen that show, it is so freaking funny. You will die. All the episodes are funny, and they did the origin of hip hop, the origin of scratching, and this.
Oh, cool! That sounds awesome.
Oh, who's the black actress that was in Star Trek? Famously, gosh, what's her name? She kissed William Shatner.
Oh,
can't think of her name.
Uhura, but Nichelle Nichols.
Okay, well, so in this episode, I don't know, I can't remember her name, but I know that she's super famous. And so in the story, in one of the segments last night, they tell a story about how she had quit Star Trek a week before, and she goes to this big summit or dinner or something, and this guy walks up to her and starts telling her, "Oh, I love you. Are the only show that I let my 3 kids stay up and watch. And it's so nice to see a Black woman on TV that isn't playing a slave and isn't playing a servant. And we love you and what you do. And she had just quit a week ago, and it was Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, that's awesome.
She was like, what? So it was like this crazy story of how she was like, oh my gosh, why did I quit this? Like, this is crazy. Here it is, Martin Luther King Jr. telling me that him and his kids stay up to watch this role. And I thought, like, what a cool, that's a really cool story. So.
No, that's an awesome story. And it is Nichelle Nichols with an N. So just
Nichelle Nichols. Okay.
Yeah. And just because I'm sure there's a lot of Trekkies out there that are screaming out.
I know.
Like,
my dad.
How do you not know who that is?
My dad would be so mad. He loves William Shatner and like all the things with her. He loves like the Kiss story and everything. So, and my dad's a preacher at a predominantly Black church. So like he would be like, I can't believe that you don't know this. This is all the things that I love Star Trek. So it's so funny though. I just thought that was a cool story. But yeah, there's actually another Black cosplayer, Charles, that was on the show with me. Not on my episode though. He actually, I mentioned I was going to be a guest at RenCon. He's going to be a guest there too.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. So I think they're negotiating now, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a guest there.
Yeah, Ebony Warrior, right?
Ebony Warrior Studios. Yeah.
Ebony Warrior Studios. That's cool. I haven't never met him in person, but I know him.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I've met him before, obviously with the show, but we haven't ever had the opportunity to hang out. So I'm excited to get to guest with someone else that was on a different show. It's so fun to talk about the experiences and just what it was like. So it was really cool.
Has that been? It's been over a year already, hasn't it?
It's been. We aired
since it aired.
March 21st. Mine aired.
Okay, so it's almost
a year, and we had to hold on to that secret about like who won and what happened for so long.
But you guys filmed like
August, or I don't know when we filmed.
A year and a half ago. I can't believe it's been that long already.
I know, it's so crazy. And there's I got an email about like a potential other show in the works, but like I did not realize until I even got on that show that the behind the scenes of bringing a show to television is like a long process.
Yeah.
It's like they go through pitch and scripts and like the format. They could go through that for like 2 years before it even gets to the casting portion.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because you could miss that moment of time of like what's relevant. But certain reality things, if it's relevant, they'll plug it right on.
They'll plug it right away. So I'm guessing that with Cosplay Melee, that season 1 just didn't bring the viewers they wanted because we haven't seen a season 2 yet. So
no, I check the ratings on everything, like every night, every episode, and the highest rated show. This is not tooting my own horn, and I will tell you why. Our show was the highest rated show, and only because this is why I think it had a Game of Thrones theme.
Oh yeah, I could see.
We were the only one that had a actual TM theme, and I think that brought people. They're like, Game of Thrones, we miss Game of Thrones. We're itching for it, you know.
Well, yeah, I could see how having like, especially an already established popular property that there's fandoms of, be like, oh yeah, I can tune into that, because had they done like a Star Trek episode or maybe a Star Wars, you know what I mean?
If they could have done any more branding,
if they could have done that, I mean, I probably would have brought in because. It probably would have brought in people that were like fans of that, but not necessarily not even really knowing anything about what's cosplay, what's this? Oh, but it has to do with Game of Thrones, so I'm going to check it out. Yeah. So
definitely. I think that was the reason. If every episode had been themed, but then obviously on the back end they have to say, well, we have to pay for those licenses.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they didn't. I get why they didn't do that, but.
It's just such a bummer because game companies like SyFy got a Face Off got a World of Warcraft challenge. Like, you mean hold up, let me stop this train, y'all. You mean to tell me that Blizzard was not going to let you do a costume themed episode? I don't think so. I think they were going to do it. I think they were going to let you do it for a good deal. I think you should have contacted them. I'm very upset that I did not get to do a World of Warcraft episode. And a Destiny episode. They could have done, like so many things with Activision. I guess it all comes down to the negotiation and the legal and whatever, but
all that stuff on the back end that costs money.
I know, dude. I have a meeting on Friday where I'm doing something that's like a pro bono kind of thing, but it's pro bono for the company. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's something pro bono-ish, and but it still has to go through all these legal loopholes, and it's like, why? Just let me give you something. Just let me give you something. Why won't you let me give you something? I don't understand. But it's because I guess there is still an exchange of some kind of money, even though it's like the company will use it on their behalf as like a pro bono thing. Yeah.
Well, but it's also branding and licensing, right?
It's branding
so,
and lighting. Exactly.
So even if there's maybe not money attached, you're still attached to the name of this company or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting how things go.
Yeah. Weird behind the scenes stuff.
It's crazy. And it's so something else that themed episodes would have been cool, that's all. But anyways, so what's up?
So I'm halfway done remolding my Wonder Woman sword. Oh,
that's fun. I got a bunch of stuff I need to mold. Can I just mail it to you or mail you here to mold it? Jill, will you mold my stuff?
Hey, I'll mold for hire if somebody wants. If you want to bring me over, I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it for the airplane ride.
I need Jill to cast all my gems because she likes to use the vacuum chamber or the pressure pot, and she casts gems. So I'm gonna just make them. Yeah, see, she's down. She likes casting gems. She really likes casting gems. I think they're all like sparkly and pretty, or like a.
Are you? Is this a sarcasm liking, or does she actually?
No, she likes them.
Yeah, cool.
She really likes it. I'm pretty sure we have the same. I don't know what pot you have up there, but she got one. I think that's the same one. I don't know. Maybe not. Is that what you have? That pot up there?
Yeah. You know what pot that is.
What?
I can't see that pot is Jeff.
That's named Jeff?
Yeah. That's Jeff. He's on loan from Bill.
Jeff from Bill.
Bill loaned me Jeff.
Man, I gotta start getting some stickers cut out for naming stuff. The sandblasting cabinet needs a name because it looks a little bit like a person. I
should turn him to where you can see his name because he's actually labeled as Jeff.
I'm going to actually turn, for those of you that are watching, you're going to get to see the other side of the shop. What is that? I don't even understand. It's crazy.
There's a Jill. Hey, Jill.
There was a Jill. That is Mr. Sandblast cabinet.
Oh, you got your sandblaster.
Yeah, but the problem is it requires, so just a heads up for those of you that want to get into sandblasting.
What's the catch?
You can't just buy a cabinet. You must buy a lot of things that come with a cabinet. So if you get a kit, it's better. It needs like so I had to get like so much crap. These extra attachments that like attach to the back because it needs to have a vacuum. It needs to have obviously air because it's it's a spray gun, and it has to have a filter that traps moisture. I have these blue silica beads that change color when they're full of moisture, and you have to put those in this little trap thing so that the air doesn't come through. It's very important that, think about it logically. If you had a sandblasting gun and it had moisture in it, it's just, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm following water. Where you're at. That's what it's got. Yeah. So it has some type of moisture trap.
Yeah. So you have to buy these extra things. You can't just have that. So we had to get connectors for the air hookup and the vacuum hookup, and then a water vapor trap thing, and then the silica beads. So a lot of little things that you don't realize. On top of that, I didn't get a standing one because I didn't measure. Why would you ever look up the dimensions of something when you buy it? Why wouldn't you just buy it? You know what I mean?
I know. It's just like, hey, I need this thing. I have a place to put it.
Yeah.
You don't need to know. You don't need to know if it fits or not.
I just assume like there will be a place, which honestly there will be a place. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Like wood section over there that's just like living over there. I was like, well, it's going there. I mean, oh gosh, it's going there, and it is. There's only one. That's how I think marriage kind of works like that. You just say, and then it just happens. So all the parts came, and this weekend he picked up the wood.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, here's what can happen. I will build my own cabinet stand. Not a problem. I'm gonna use all your tools, and when it falls apart, because I use nails, you're gonna get me a new cabinet. I mean, I'm not mean like that. I didn't really say it like that.
Yeah,
in my head, I was like, look, I was like the quality. So it's not that I can't do it. I don't have the patience for woodworking. Yeah. Is that a thing? Because I just feel like I don't. I feel like woodworking is like, you gotta measure.
Yeah.
It's important to measure. Yeah. Measuring's important in woodworking out here.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, I don't like the whole measuring thing is just like, oh, that's a lot of work, man, I'm just like, oh, where's my ruler? I don't know.
I think with woodworking, especially if you're doing like fine type stuff, furniture building or whatever, there's definitely a measured amount of patience and thoroughness that you have to have for things to fit together squarely and correctly and precisely. I think woodworking is a very precise type of thing.
Yep.
So, and precision usually comes with
precision and accuracy.
Precision music and accuracy usually comes with taking your time. So being very thorough.
Yeah.
So, which I have been accused of being that type of person before. I don't know why people would think
no,
that, but,
you and Matt are both like that. And so I appreciate woodworking. I follow a lot. I literally watched this guy make a giant bowl last night out of an oak knoll. I don't know. I don't even know.
On his
it was
lathe.
just beautiful. Olive knoll thing. It was giant. It was such a big bowl. I've never seen it. And I was like, what is this magic? How did he turn? He turned a thing that was as wide as this table. And
well, if you have a big enough lathe, you can do that. So
I know, right? I was like, that is a monster lathe. Like I could ride that lathe. I could strap right onto it and roll myself. It was crazy. Like it's just such a fun. It's fun to see people that have like then that's another rabbit hole. So if you have any wives or men or anybody out there that's a seamstress, I learned about this free arm quilting machine that is like the bomb. And I went down that rabbit hole last night. See, I have all these needs. I'm like, I need to know the craziest tool out there, and I have not found it yet. I just keep finding lots of keep getting progressively crazier. But that giant lathe definitely took the money. But so anyways, the sandblasting cabinet's going over there, and I keep bringing it up. Like I'm not really a nag. I just I'm like, man, I wish I had a sandblasting cabinet.
Yeah, it'd be handy to have this right now.
Yeah, and then I'm like, it's not at you. It's just like a thought I say out loud. So I'm really happy that he's going to put that together this weekend. He got the wood because I'm dying to use it.
I bet you are.
I've watched so many videos, and it's like one of those satisfying things watching. They have like they'll put their camera in the top, and it's all lit up, and you watch the guy just like stand, and I'm like, oh yeah,
it's
amazing.
You're like, I want to get in on that sandblasting action.
I'm like, I have it, but I can't use it. That's a hard thing. It's like having a Christmas present you can't open yet.
I hate that. I hate when I have, especially like a new tool or whatever. And like, I totally understand what you're talking about. Like with all the extra things that you need for the sandblaster. Because you get something and you're
a little bit with her pot.
You get something and you're all ready to use it. And then you don't have the right connector and you're like, dang it.
Yes.
And sometimes, usually you can't find it locally, so you have to order it. And even if it's Amazon Prime, that's still like 2 or 3 days you have to wait for it. So.
Oh yeah, real talk. Just a little side note about Amazon Prime. You know that like 2-day promise thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And you pay $90 a year for it. So I started noticing like things. I kept getting emails, updated delivery, and non-inclement weather issues, not weather problems.
Yeah.
And so I started writing down how. From the time I ordered and it said it was shipped on weekdays. Obviously, I get the weekend thing. And I would get things that would be 3, 4, 5 days late.
Yeah.
Late from the 2-day. And
that
so
sucks.
I emailed them and they refunded it.
Yeah, myself. They will. Yeah.
And because I was like, dude, I'm getting, I'm probably getting the bigger deal here with the $90 a year.
Definitely.
But still, I'm a principal kind of person. And if you say something, if you promise me something and you don't deliver it, I'm going to tell you mama. I'm going to tell your customer service mama, I'm going to get my money back. So I don't approve of that. So anyways, that was a fun thing. So watch your Amazon Prime. Just kidding, Amazon. I love you. Please don't cancel my membership. I can't live without that Amazon Prime Video. I need stuff to watch.
Well, I ordering stuff, especially for being a maker, it's like, I honestly don't know how anybody works without Amazon Prime. I really don't.
I couldn't here because I live in the swamp. I needed stuff. Yeah. But
well, for me, it's just like it's like every when I've said this over and over again. We've talked about before. It's always a timing issue, right? And if I can find something on Amazon in 5 minutes and order it and have it the next day or 2 days later, that's so much more efficient than getting in my car, driving somewhere. No matter what kind of store I'm going to, the closest one to my house is 5 miles. There's traffic everywhere. Yeah. You go, you stand in line, you get your thing. By the time you come back, you've shot 2 hours just to pick up one thing. So for people out there that are makers that don't have Amazon Prime, I more power to you. But I really literally could not do all the stuff that I do without it. So, and do you get, because of where you're at, or do you have 1-day delivery, or is that not a thing for you?
I wish. Yeah. I stayed at Liz's and got 1-day delivery on some All-Clad one time, and I was like, what? This is magic.
Yeah, because I'm in the Seattle area, and that's, kind of a tech hub or whatever, and we have 1-day delivery. And it's not
up for one of the cities for the new Amazon hub.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, because they narrowed it down to, I hope we're still in the running. I haven't checked lately. I don't remember. But if they did, cool. It's amazing. It would like do so much. I mean, our state's, we've got a lot of cool stuff in Raleigh, but Amazon would be amazing.
Yeah. It would be pretty cool.
And here I was talking bad about Amazon. I'm really sorry. I take back everything I said. Could you please just come to my state and
provide us with thousands of jobs? They're slowly taking over the world, though. So you know.
I know. Yeah. Something else I wanted to say about I don't remember. I can't really remember what it was. It was important. Oh, yeah. So side note, for you ladies out there listening, I bought an eyebrow stamp and it was amazing and you should get one. It's only $11. that is not an ad.
Is that for like, an eyebrow stamp? Not a...
I have the eyeliner stamp. I have 2 of them now, the long one and the short one. I'm wearing the long one today. Me and Kamui.
And that one's for the wings, right?
Yes, that's the wing. So Svetlana couldn't find one in Miami when she was in America. And I was like, girl, if you can't get one, I will bring you one to Germany. I messaged her and she's like, where'd you get it? So I gave her the link. So she's ordering one and it's that big. Like everybody over the world knows about these stamps. They work really well. I love them. But then I saw an eyebrow stamp. It was like recommended. Thank you for recommending things to me because I need them.
Amazon recommends is really good for you.
They're so good. And that freaking, speaking of which, I got a cosplay related thing after this. But anyways, the stamp is incredible. I did make a video today that I sent to Liz privately, and I accidentally, as I was making the video, I stamped straight above my eyebrow, and I had to take it off. I was like, well, why did I bother trying to make a video? I made a video trying to show her how to do it, and it was definitely how not to do it.
Well, that has some value itself too, right?
Yeah, just, and it was funny, but it works so fast. And it could be great for like cosplay eyebrows too if you need like really like specific types, especially if you're doing a costume there's a lot of extreme stamps. And so if you're a person that's blacking out or whiting out their eyebrows and need like a hard witch stamp eyebrow, like the arch thing, they have those. And it's so cheap. Yeah, you can get like a new stamp for like $1.58.
So when you're using the stamp, like what are you stamping on there? Like what?
It has this like the powder feels a lot like MAC's eyeshadow powder.
Okay, sorry, so it's a powder.
But it's a really nice creamy powder.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Like and you can always spray it with a setting spray. But I feel like it could be really good for cosplay because there's so many different eyebrows, and eyebrows are a lot of characters have that specific look, and an eyebrow changes the face more than anyone realizes. It's very dramatic.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, something else that I got recommended that I found really useful is I use paint pens a lot for like little highlights on you don't really notice it unless you look at my stuff up close, but it helps in the photos to use a paint pen for like straight lines on certain like damagey areas or like on Overwatch, a lot of little areas that looked like, I don't know, just lines they had, whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw they have, the issue is paint pens can get expensive if you use it a lot and they run out pretty fast for me at least. Especially the silver one when I'm doing like a whole costume, like highlighting all the mountaintops on all the costume. Well, I found that Montana, that spray paint company.
Yeah.
They make refillable markers of they have fat, wide ones, and they're openable and refillable, and they sell these big bottles of refillable paint, and it cuts the cost down so much. I just ordered some.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm excited to try it.
Were those off Amazon, or did you order them straight?
Yeah, Amazon, of course.
Really? Wow. Well, I've been wanting to try some of the Montana paints for a while, but I don't really know where to get them. So.
A Hollywood shop, or Hollywood, that sounds so stupid. Downtown LA shop I worked in had a whole bunch of them racked across the top.
Yeah.
But then I was reading, and they had like more hardcore spray paint warnings than I've ever read. I got nervous. I was like, I don't want to spray this without really good ventilation, because they were like downstairs spraying, which was like not my thing anyway.
Yeah.
But I went outside. Oh, get this! I went outside to spray in this little alley, which is a little crazy, I know. And then the restaurant next door said the spray paint was getting in their like vents and coming in the restaurant.
Oh no!
So I was like, how do you spray downtown LA? I don't get this. Why y'all got shops here?
Well, California's pretty restrictive on all their stuff too. So.
Well, I don't blame them. I felt terrible. I was like, dang, imagine eating in there and then just like getting choked out. It'd be terrible. So. Yeah, but I'm excited to try their marker stuff because their paint has really good reviews. Their spray paint stuff.
Yeah, well, people love their spray paint. Their gold is pretty well known as a great. Yep. Their acrylic based gold.
I get the gold, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
We should get that gold.
I would love to try it. I guess I didn't have. Maybe I haven't looked for their stuff. It seems like I looked for Montana on Amazon once, and I never. It wasn't there.
There wasn't that much of a selection of what I saw.
So maybe you can get some of it now. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and see.
Because I think I want to say like Dick Blick maybe sells it, but the only one that's close to me is like an hour and a half away down in the Georgetown area in Seattle, which is a place I don't want to go to because it's too far away and I don't like driving. So
yeah, I understand that. Yeah, so, but that's, if any of you have used like Montana paints and you like them or use that refillable marker or anything to do with that Montana stuff, please let us know because I'm really curious, like other people's reviews. I like to hear a review before I buy because I buy all the time with just like limited internet reviews and it's not cosplay. It's not like our community reviews.
Yeah, it's like maybe for other use or whatever. Yeah.
I bought so much stuff that sucks this year. If I did a review of like all the things I bought that sucked, it's so much. Oh, and here, let me tell you this, y'all.
I want like an hour long Jackie video of like this sucks, this sucks. And Bill is like Bill and Brittany are such sweeties that they're like, we don't publicly, like we don't like knock products publicly and like we don't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, me either. Yeah, I love it. I love that stuff that just is hard as cement and just broke my arm when I try to use it. Yeah, I pretty much just like if I use something I don't like, I just never say anything about it. It's like
I know, and I like
whatever.
See, coming from like the makeup world, I can't live like that because if I use something bad, I'm like, don't y'all put this on your face. So I have to take.
Don't waste your money or your time or whatever, right?
Yeah, and I don't knock a company particularly because like I'll always tell you if something's great and then something maybe isn't their thing, but I feel like honest reviews are like my jam. I get real talk. We've talked about this on previous. Real talk is just all the talk, really. I don't know why. I don't need to say real talk. There is no other kind of talk.
Well, that's like that's why you say, well, honestly. Well, before you were lying the rest of the day. Before you were just telling me bullshit or I said bullshit.
Bullshit. Dude, it's
oops, so sorry. Sorry to all all of our family listeners.
Sorry guys, cover the kiddos' ears. But yeah, it's so funny to see how I don't know, I have a hard time not being honest about a product. But I talked about this in previous podcasts. Companies reach out to me, and a lot of girls get like contacts, makeup, wigs. A lot of companies that reach out. Liz got a giant vibrator back thing that they tried to get her to do, and she was like, "No thanks."
I'm glad you continued with back thing. So I
did. Don't worry. And so to me, it's like I don't want to just like put my name on stuff and say like Jackie said this is this because let me tell you that in my stream the other day somebody said Bill said to do this. Bam. Yeah. You know what I mean? You will live by your words. People will tell you Evil Ted told me. Ted told me. So it's important that you stick. You don't just jump into something and say, this is the best thing I've ever used.
Yeah. I wonder, now that makes me wonder how many people have said, if anybody said, well, on Craft and Geek, they said this.
Oh, crap. Probably. They're like, Jackie said this. Oh, dang it. I'll have to rewatch it and be like, okay, I need to make an amendment in this video. No, I'm just kidding. Usually I will remember what I said and then tell you guys like, hey, actually, after a much longer, longer test period, I
remember all that stuff I said, forget about it.
Dude, but my point in bringing this up was the other day I watch a lot of the I try to check into the groups that I'm a part of, like Punished Props group or the Prop Tart group and Evil Ted's Foam group and the X Sisters group. I try to just check in and see like, hey, what are people posting about? Yeah. And you're really good at that, but I'm trying to be a little more like you. And I saw this person that was recommending something, and then this guy's like, you need to use Bounce. It's amazing. And I was like, thanks. I was like, that guy does not listen to our podcast.
Yeah, I think if anything is on the Crafting Geek hit list, I think Bounce is like the number one because I think that's the thing that you've slanderously
little bottles and mail samples out to people. So if any of you guys do want that, I would gladly put some in a little bottle and send you a sample. But it's when I saw that, I started to type a reply.
Yeah, you're like actually.
But I don't want. But see, I can't be that person. I do not want to be like your method is terrible.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I wouldn't say that anyway. I just want to say like
so I use Bounce and it sucks.
And my costume stuck together when I mailed it, and I had to peel it off and fix it at Liz's house. So that's a true story. And I was like, no, Bounce, why?
Oh man.
But yeah, so that was just a funny little thing. It's like you definitely I see things all the time with different methods. Everybody's got their method. You keep doing you. But that reminds me. another interesting post I saw. There
What's
is
that?
this guy out there. If you're listening, you're obviously making something really cool. I'm excited to see it, but dang. He's making a giant costume, huge build of something that's like a larger than life costume, and it's all cardboard, and he's paper macheing the whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
And all I could think was, your skill at cleaning up paper mache is way better than mine, and also the weight.
I was gonna say also, yeah, I hope he's strong.
I hope he's strong. It's so big. But it was like that moment where I wanted to reach out and be like, your patterning skills are great. Like, you should just transfer all that to foam.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, well, I don't know what you guys think that are listening, but like, would you appreciate someone trying to help you? Or would you think they're trying to be snarky and tell you how to do your thing? You know? Like, how do you guys feel about that? How do you feel, Eric? Like, because we've talked about unwarranted advice and things before.
Yeah,
We have friends that hate it.
I am one to rarely give advice unless asked specifically for advice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely that way too. Unless I'm asked, I try to stay out.
And the biggest reason why is because whenever, and you know, this is more specifically to social media type stuff, but whenever I personally have posted something and I have somebody going, well, why didn't you do this? You know, kind of like that way.
Yeah.
Or you should have done this. Right?
Yeah, that's a bad way to start a conversation. Anyway.
So they automatically assume that's an automatic assumption that I didn't already think of that, or I didn't already try that. And yes, I don't know everything. Okay, big shocker there. But generally speaking, if I'm working on something and I'm posting about a work in progress, I've done everything I can with my own brain and my own skills and my own knowledge to decide I want to do it this way for this many reasons, or you know, this many reasons, for these specific reasons, right? And so when I post this thing, I'm not telling you, hey, I did it this way because I went through and then list all the 10 different things I could have done, but chose this because of all these reasons. And that's something that just irritates the crap out of me because when I do something, I think I build it. I tell you this all the time. I build it in my head 3 times, you know, everything I build, I've built it in my head before, at least 3 times before I build it in the real world. And when I'm working on something, I have chosen those specific things for very specific reasons.
Yes,
It might be because of time. It might be because of money. It might be because a certain material I'm better with skill wise,
or it might even be because a company asked you to use it in a build.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And you want to try it?
Or it's got a different handle, or the color's changed because it's a commission piece and the person that requested the commission asked for this specific change. And so for me, when somebody comes at me like that without me saying, hey, what do you know, without me soliciting it, I need your opinion on this, it's because I've thought about all the stuff that I need to do or how I'm going to do this, and I have reasons for it. And I don't feel like I need to be I don't feel like it's my job to sit there and list every reason why I decided to do it this way to justify why I'm doing something X, Y, or Z in a certain way or a certain, you know, method or something. And so for me, it's just like, unless somebody says, what do you think of this? I don't give advice.
Yeah.
Even if I look at that thing and I go, you know what, if I was doing this, I would have done this, this, and this. You know, because a lot of times I look at that. But the thing is you never know what that other person's skill set is. You never know, you know, what all those reasons they're doing is. So for me, I just don't give advice unless asked for it. And even then, I'm pretty reluctant to give advice anyway. I usually don't give advice on threads, right? Like, I usually don't. I usually only give advice if somebody messages me and says, hey, I'm doing this thing. What do you think? How should I go about this? And I get, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get like, I don't know, 20 of those a week sometimes.
I have like so many new ones. I have one right now that if you're listening, it was just a generic question of, can you give me some sculpting tips? Yeah. And it's like, well, I don't know what medium you're using. I don't know what tools you have.
Yeah, I mean, those are, you know, those kind of questions I don't even answer because it's like, no.
Well, to me, it's like, I would suggest it. I wish I could help you. I wish I had like something I could type and answer, but I would just say like, go check people out. Like WM Armory. Like there's a lot of like people that are really good sculptors out there. Waltimus Prime, I think is his Instagram name. He was on SyFy Face Off. He's amazing. There's like a lot of people that I would just go kind of check out what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the best. I'm not the person you want to ask for that.
Well, and a lot of times too, it's like, hey, and I don't want to, I never say it snarkily, but in my head, I'm thinking, you ever heard of YouTube? Because
and like I'll try to word that. I feel so bad saying that like I have to find a really nice way to say it. I always try to like link them someone so it's not just like
same here. Yeah. I'm usually not just like, hey, I'm usually like, hey idiot, go to YouTube. It's like, hey,
can you imagine?
I'm usually like, I learned this skill because other people have made content, and check out.
I show them how I like.
And then like, hey, check out these makers on YouTube. They might, and try to point people in the right direction. So
Somebody asked me a question the other day, and they had never heard of Kamui.
Yeah, right.
I linked up her YouTube, and they were like, they responded to they were like, "Thank you so much. This was so helpful." And I was
like, "Who is this amazing person?"
And I was like, "She's awesome." But it's crazy. Like the crossover isn't always the same.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like, there are people that know. Some of the people that we revere. Punish Props, Evil Ted, Kamui Cosplay, Vulpin Props, and some people are like, who's that?
Yeah, it's true. And it's really like the studio I just talked about that I worked in downtown LA, on the wall, pinned on the wall, were Evil Ted's patterns.
Oh, that's awesome.
They were like, it had like writing like examples of this style, blah, blah, and I was like, that's Ted. I even told Ted. Yeah. I was like, dude, your patterns were on the wall, and like they didn't really know like who Ted was or what the story was.
Yeah, but
if they knew who Ted was in the Hollywood community, they would have made the connection, but they saw it as like Evil Ted, like the cosplay thing. Yeah. And they were talking about that, and I was like, wow, that's so funny. But yeah, it's an interesting crossover. But I definitely think that there's a lot of people that don't take advice, no matter how well it's intended, very well. They don't react well, and so it's you got to be a little cautious with that. But my thing is, and you mentioned this about people will be like, well, how about try this? Like literally when we were Skyping, I was trying to fix why my screen was auto dimming on this new laptop, and all the posts were stupid. Sorry, that's mean. But what I mean by stupid is one person would say, this is how you fix it. And people were like, well, what if I don't have this option? It's not showing up. And then like 3 comments down, this is how I fix it. It's the same thing that the original poster posted.
Yeah, yeah.
What is wrong with you? Can you not read?
No.
And
people don't read. People don't read.
They don't read. That's exactly right. They are quick to just type it in without realizing someone else has said it. Oh, yeah. And so when I post something, which actually this will cycle over to another thing, but when I post an issue, I will post have tried this. Yes. I have to.
Right? Oh yeah, yeah.
And I even still sometimes get a response, and I'm like, "What? Well, you broke the rules. You didn't read the list first."
Yeah,
it's so funny. But I find myself doing that more and more often. And the funny thing is, on Zombies episode of Prop Live with Bill, somebody asked a question, and it's somebody we know. Like I think it might be Hey Patch. Hey Patch in the chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's Hey Patch. So I don't know if he listens to our podcast, but if he does, he mentioned his printer was having a thermal runaway issue. Yeah. And both Grace and Bill were like, I don't know. We've never had that. This girl has on her very expensive printer. My sweet baby Taz did. Oh, and of course my brain went, and also by the way, certain printers, he already knows this, I'm sure, because he's Googled and been down the rabbit hole like I had to. Some printers don't have that like shut off mechanism, and they'll just catch on fire.
Yeah.
So like that's crazy. It's all about like the like the controls that have that, the flag system, and the CR10 has it, which is what he had the issue with, because the CR10 has the same control system, like the board, as the Taz, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it said thermal runaway, and I was like, oh Jesus, this says my printer's dying. The internet had all these reasons. Well, what mine was in a very hidden little place, a power wire had come loose, not disconnected,
but loose. So it wasn't
enough that the appropriate amount of voltage, power source was not going to it, and so it was shutting off because it was trying to pull so much. I mean, obviously,
because it couldn't handle the amount of energy coming through the connection because it wasn't connected correctly, and so it's like causing all these errors.
All messed up. So it was shutting down,
and so it's just like, nope, I'm not going to do it.
And it was such a hidden little spot. So I will say that if you have If you just check that. Sorry, I was like listening to Jill saying. How is that coming? Is that
Thermal runaway?
Okay.
No, it soothes my soul because sanding is like.
All right. Well, you guys that are listening, it just goes with the new shirt that you can get at coregeek.com.
Which I'm not.
Look, I plugged you.
Which I'm not. Oh, you did. I'm not wearing my shirt right now though. I wore it last episode. I have
to say, our friend Solo Roboto, if he ends up listening to this, he was a very handsome T-shirt model.
Oh, yes. Oh,
I was like, hey, Steven. We're just such a cute couple. And I was like, he's a good T-shirt model.
Hey, my buddy Wildcard did a pretty good job on his, too. He's a pretty good-looking guy, too.
Did you retweet that one or reshare that one, too? I'll have to check him.
Yeah, I did a post yesterday. Whenever people buy my shirts and they Instagram it or whatever, I save up like at least 4 and then do like a repost of them. And he was part of that.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, I saw that you did a grid, and that's a good. I've been messaging people and asking if I could share their work with my patterns, and I like instead of doing one at a time, I kind of want to do like a little collage. So now that I have a few saved up, I want to do it. But I like to ask first. Yours is different as T-shirts, but I feel I was like nervous about just sharing someone's work without asking because like, what if they don't want 14,000 people to see their progress on a chess piece? You know? Like,
I get
like,
that.
Blast you.
I guess I just generally think that most people don't mind their work being shared, but that's true. I suppose there are some people that are like, please don't do that. But today I'm sporting, or this episode I'm sporting Vert Vixen's new shirt. So there you go.
I know I need a Vert Vixen one too. Well, I told Eric before we started podcasting earlier that I have surmounted this I just have a crazy amount of T-shirts and I'm doing the purge. So I could not find my Coregeek Creations shirt. All I had was like a Prop Tarts and a Vulpin Props shirt that were just like the ones that were always on top of the laundry. Vulpin's mainly because it was one of the first shirts I got because he had them a long time ago, and it's so dirty that it's like I go to it because it's dirty and I can get it dirty.
Yeah. So it's a shop shirt, right?
It's a shop shirt, but I wanted all my shop shirts to be in a nice stack because I want to add more to it and get rid of all these like Seafood Hut and all these like local shirts I have that like I could just put them in a bin or something.
Seafood Hut
and store them if I want to.
Is that really the name of a restaurant?
No, like Arby's is a restaurant I have a bunch of shirts from, and Miller's Seafood. I mean, I'm not making that up. I do have a bunch of seafood shirts. And so I need to I want to wear my prop shirts because Arby's isn't even around anymore. So it's like, why do I have so many shirts from friends I want to promote. So I like hunted this one down and I just like chucked all my T-shirts out of my armoire. And I found a bunch. So
I was wondering because I never asked you. I just kind of assumed, I just kind of assumed you didn't like the shirt because you had it for like
stop it.
You had it for like months, and I'm just like I think.
Well, I didn't want to tell you that I couldn't find it. I felt bad.
I think Jackie's ashamed of me. She won't wear my shirt. So
well, no, I want to get your new one, but then I was like, if I order his new one and I wear that, and he's like, you never even wore the other one I sent you. What's wrong with you? Like, and I'll be like, I lost it. So I'm definitely going to reorganize my shirts. I want to get one from every maker, so I have as many as I can. But
yeah, the new. It's funny we're talking about it because I'm not wearing it this episode, and I wore it last episode. But that was something I did the design of like a year ago. I mean, I was doing other stuff, and I was just like, I don't remember. I didn't make that up. I don't remember where I saw it, but because it's a Mad Max thing. But somebody had correlated it to sanding, and I just remember that bouncing around in my head and. I was like, that might make a cool shirt. So I worked on that design a little bit, and then it just sat.
I love it. I think it's really.
And then
cute.
I was just going through things, and I thought, maybe I'll just post this just for fun, And there was like, I want that on a shirt. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, okay. I guess I'll make it a shirt.
When you want it, you want it.
So,
like God Save the Queen Sylvanas shirt, and I was like, I need this in my life right now. And then I was like, don't buy more shirts. You can't even find the ones you have.
So, and actually, I was actually kind of surprised at how many people want. It's been selling well. So, but I price my stuff to sell. I don't make. I mean.
Yeah,
I think I make
looked into the profit margins on shirts and stuff, and I'm like, wow.
I think
it's really just a small support.
I think I get $1.50 from every shirt, but the shop that I use for it to integrate into my website is $15 a month. So basically, the shirt, if I sell at least 10 shirts or whatever, it pays for the shop to be open in my website. So I don't make a profit off of it. It's just they're fun. So that's it. It's fun to have people wear your stuff. So
yeah, and it is fun. I'm making of a friend of mine that I did one of my early cons with made me a Christmas present that's a #craft beanie, and I love it. I've worn it so much, and every time I wear it, people are like, "Oh my gosh, I need that beanie. And it's just so simple and goofy, I know. But I'm going to get some #craft beanies made just because.
That's funny.
It's just like my thing, because it's Jackie Craft, but it's like I craft stuff.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
So, and I love my beanie. I'm a beanie person, even though I don't think I've ever worn. Well, why would I wear it on the podcast? Obviously, but
I've never seen you wear a beanie.
I know. And lately, actually, I've just been like getting out of the shower, clip my hair on the top of my head, and come to the shop looking crazy. So it's nice to like look like. Oh man, it's so weird. The last few months, I've just been kind of like, just being like a little bit of a bum. A bum looking kind of person. Well,
when you're spending the time in the shop though, it's kind of like, it's okay to be a shop bum,
Yeah. Well, I've been inside a lot too, just because I've been like working on my patterns and then trying to organize my sewing room. There's a whole nother part of this Jackie life that like people don't see, and that's my sewing room.
Oh wow.
And it needs to be functional. It needs to be like more functional and more organized. So I'm trying to get that back in tip-top shape. So it's crazy because I'd like to do some sewing. I mean, I have to do some sewing on some costumes that are coming up, so I'd like to make it. It's like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but if it's complete chaos in my workspace, I'm like, nope, I'm not working on this right now. Because in order to work on it, you must organize.
Yeah. Well, so for me, I'm definitely that way. And if I'm mid-project and my shop is clean, that means I'm putting off doing something I don't want to do with the project. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I do that too. I'm like, I just need a reset, but I don't want to move on a part.
Exactly. It's like if there's like a certain thing I need to do that maybe I'm nervous about, or I know is going to be a pain in the butt, and I don't want to do it, but I have to do it, I'll clean my shop.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So if my shop's been clean, then I'm usually working on something, and I can't quite get myself to that point because it'll be like, oh, I'm distracted. I need to clean the shop. So then I clean the shop. So anyway.
I really need to have the dust collection on in here.
My shop's clean right now because I was remolding the Wonder Woman sword, and I put that off as long as I could.
Mine's like not that clean. My thing is, the worst part about the shop is the bench behind me just always becomes chaos. Yeah. And there's 2 bins of giveaway stuff that I have to go through, and they're just like sitting over there. So like that's a little annoying. But it's whenever there's a bunch of costume parts that are in progress, they're just kind of sitting everywhere, and that sucks. Yeah,
I have my other room. So I'm in my shop space right now, but my work room, I call, where my 3D printer and stuff is.
Yeah.
I've printed so many different things. I just have like piles of like, I like printed a lightsaber, and I printed a Valkyrie sword. They're all in parts though. They're just like piles of 3D prints like everywhere in there.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like taking over my whole desk. And
I have a whole bunch of 3D print parts ready to go in the. I'm like, I'm not sanding these by hand. I'm waiting on the sandblaster because they aren't priority projects. They're just fun projects for me.
Yeah.
So they're just like sitting over there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have the Blade Runner blaster that I've been working on, which I hope to start painting probably tomorrow. So, because I'm entering that one into a contest, and that's right. It's got to be done by the 12th. So, so I had to redo a piece on it though.
Oh, huh. What happened?
Well, so there's like, it's an interesting design for that blaster, but it has like this rail design that goes halfway through the handle, and it makes up the trigger guard, and then it runs along the bottom of the barrel. And that's also for the actual prop, there's like a light in there. And I was getting ready to paint it the other day, and I was like, I think I want to put the light in here, I was just gonna paint the light. I was just gonna paint the light, but
didn't you post working on? You're like, this took longer than I thought it should.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, I did. I posted a thing with the light because it's one light. Well, okay, so I thought it was one light for whatever reason. All the reference I had up to that point, I could only see the one side, and it was all I saw was the light on one side. And so in my head, for some reason, it was only had an LED on one side. But I have since found other reference. Do you ever have that happen to you where you can't find good reference, and then
are you kidding?
And then you do a thing, and then you find the reference, and then you're like, where was this last week when I really needed it?
That's like the middle of my life right now.
Okay, I hate that.
I did the Jaina gauntlet in the Jaina shoulders for her battle for Azeroth, but all there were just the one front side of her, and I didn't know, like, I had no idea what the other side of the gauntlet looked like. And then when the models were released, I was like, well, that's wrong. So I have it here. And I have it fixed now, and it's all digitized. This is the remnants of the actual gauntlet. But as you can see, those of you watching, if you're listening, just imagine like just a jacked up piece of foam. Yeah. I had to rip all the pieces off.
Yep.
And I was like, well, none of this is right, so you're all coming off. But
so
now I'm so happy with it. It's such like a cute.
That's good. That's a nice.
I mean, I'm not happy with this one.
Yeah, but you're happy with the pattern. So I find this reference and realize that, hey, not only is it's on both sides, right? So, but I had already installed the wiring and stuff, and then I used my soldering iron and some extra PLA and kind of buried the wiring, by like melting it over it, because I didn't want the connections to be touching each other and stuff. And when I was in the middle of doing that, I didn't realize it, but the whole piece had heated up, and it warped the piece at the same time. Oh. And so it was just like, I can kind of fix this, but it really needs the other light too. So I guess I'm just going to remake it. Well, that is one nice thing about 3D printing though, is so I just loaded. Yeah, it's a piece that actually is 4 pieces put together. So it's printed in 4 pieces. I'm out with the time that it took to because it was already smoothed and ready to go, and because it's a smooth finish kind of thing. And so I had to redo all of that. So I had to remake that whole piece. And
I had something happen like that too. But the PLA thing, like melting the rest of the piece, that hasn't happened to me yet. But because I do the same thing where I use like a little piece of filament and I heat it up and use it as if it was solder, like plastic solder. But I haven't messed up a whole piece. But I feel like I will.
Well, it's a really thin. It's a really thin rail. It's super. It's like maybe not even. It's like 3/8 of an inch wide. It's really not. It's not big at all. And I just didn't realize the whole. When I was melting the one area, that whole rail was starting to get soft. Yeah. And it kind of pushed in, and then I sort of fixed it, and it was kind of like, it'll be okay. And then my perfectionism was just like, no, you must redo this. Yeah. But then once I realized that I need to put the other light in there, and that I already buried the wiring anyway, and I can't get back into it, I'm just like, I'll just redo it. So I was going to start painting it like 2 days ago, but I've been working on that piece, getting it back up to paint ready, just because of that one piece. So anyway, hopefully I'll start painting that soon. And like last week, I've been doing some Instagram live streaming too. So
I caught you. I took a really fun picture of you,
Did you really?
on your Instagram live. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I wasn't going to post it because I was going to like make a funny zing thing. And then I was like, wait, no, I don't want to be mean, because it was just a goofy.
Is it mean?
You know how people catch people doing something goofy and they take a photo? Well, I happen to do that.
Oh, well, you have to send it to me now at least.
Okay, I will. I was going to make a funny photo.
Does it show off my double chin? Does it show off my double chin?
No, you don't have a double chin.
I do. It's bad.
You don't have a double chin. I have a double chin.
And then you know what my daughter told me? She's like, Dad, I don't like it when you wear glasses.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Well, you're wearing glasses in this photo, but I told you not to use your glasses. I think they're fine.
Well, because I wear the reader glasses for really close up stuff, because I guess my eyes are. I need to make an eye appointment. So.
Oh no!
I've always had 20. I've always had 20/10 vision, but I'm noticing that closer up stuff is getting harder for me to concentrate on. So that's why I wear the reader glasses, and I kind of look like an old man when I do it. She was just teasing me, but it was more like, you look like an old man. Don't wear those, because I don't want to think of you as getting old. Is basically what she was telling me. So, which I thought was kind of cute.
Speaking of eye fatigue, since I've been doing so much patterning, I had LASIK a while back, but I had LASIK, and then I was doing still shop stuff, so I wasn't like looking at a bright screen all the time editing things. Yeah. Well, once I started making patterns, I was like, dude, my eyes have always been light sensitive since LASIK. But this was really bad. I've had to turn everything to warm tones and like turn the brightness down on my monitors. And I still was having like my eyes just felt tired. Like I could feel them. My vision's so good now, so crisp. Yeah. And I feel like I don't want to mess it up. I got LASIK. I don't want to damage it. So I noticed when I put everything in the warm setting, I keep everything default in that. This will be default in that once I set it up. But my eyes are so much less tired. And I got those Gunner glasses. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And dude, let me tell you right now, I was not a believer. I was like, whatever. This is just like crap. And sorry to the company. Obviously, I did you wrong. I'm glad I bought your glasses, because they are the bomb. And Matt had LASIK, and he wore the glasses for a few hours the other night, and he was like, dude, what the heck? Yeah. If you take them off, you're like, I'm blinded. Yeah. Like, it's so good. You feel like I don't want to be my stepfather, who I love to death. He was the IT guy, the head of our county for a very long time. He just retired. And his vision and the migraines he used to have from all the computer monitor time just freaked me out. And I was like, man, it's a real epidemic that our generation, the computer generations are just getting worse and worse. And so it's like, I thought if this will help, I'm just going to try it. And man, it's just like, feels so good on my eyes.
Yeah, no, and eye strain and eye fatigue is a real thing. So, I mean. Yeah,
it really is. And like laying in bed at night and looking at your phone, just put it on the warm setting, put it on like the nighttime setting. Do not look at that freaking blue screen. It's bad for our eyes. And you're supposed to look away for a while. And I'm bad at that, even though I try to remind myself. But the glasses have really helped. So that's
cool.
Because Inkscape is just so freaking bright. It's like bright, white, bright. And I was like, white. Too much. But World of Warcraft, on the other hand,
what are you using? Perfect. You use Inkscape for your patterning? Is that what you're using? Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people use Inkscape. Bill has a tutorial on it.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I was just curious. I don't know.
But you said you use Inkscape, and why? Or I was just curious, and then there was a loaded reason.
No,
so complete. Tell me.
No, I'm just.
Did you use Illustrator?
No.
Illustrator.
Oh, okay. I do use Illustrator, but I hate Illustrator.
I mean, I use Photoshop for some elements. Is that what you're hinting at?
No, it wasn't a judgment.
Guys, what is he trying to tell me?
It wasn't a judgment.
Eric, it's a judgment. Tell me what it is.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all.
Eric's trying to tell me to use it. Eric's trying to tell me, Jackie, you're a noob. You should not make patterns. And I'm going to tell you why. In 3, 2. What pattern or what program?
I don't know what else you'd use. I mean, it's a vector drawing program, so I mean, there's not many. Oh my
goodness! Here you are, just at me, and you didn't even have an alternative. I cannot even believe you. I was on edge, thinking,
There was no. You totally misread my tone.
I know.
There was no. There was no.
Yeah.
It was like.
You're funny. Yeah.
No, I just find it interesting. I actually don't. I have Illustrator. I try to use it the least amount as possible because I really dislike Illustrator. I tried Inkscape. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Inkscape? I don't really like it. I like it less. Less than Illustrator. So.
Wow. Okay. I love it so much because I'm like super fast. Yeah. Which is because it's like it has a lot of similarities between Photoshop, and I spent a lot of time making if you're ready for this, some really fun guild stuff back in the day in World of Warcraft. I used to make a lot of like character images and like logos. At the bottom of forums, like if y'all ever go to like MMO Champion, at the bottom it would be like Adam, level 80 paladin, blah blah, US Stormage or something.
Did all the graphics.
And I would make all like the graphics and stuff and fun. And I would make these every at the end of like a big expansion or a big tier, I would make a big group guild photo with like all the people that participate in the kills and whatever skins they wanted. It was real cheesy, y'all. But those skills translated thankfully into real life or cosplay life skills, making patterns in Inkscape. And but Nefini Cosplay, if you look her up, it's Nefeni, Nefini Cosplay. She has a cool video of how she uses Photoshop and Inkscape or Photoshop and Illustrator together. And it's a different way of doing things other than like Bill and Ted and their excellent adventure in pattern making.
Excellent adventure in pattern making. Yes. Phone
it's
building.
Cool to see how other people do things.
Yeah.
Because we have so many friends that make patterns, and a lot of people have used the same programs that maybe have a little bit of a different take, and I felt like her little template take was just kind of fun and cute. So check her out on YouTube.
I like Nefini. I've known her for several years.
Really? Oh, I met her at KatsuCon, I think, for the first time. She's very nice, very talented.
Yes, very. Little known fact, she actually, and I've credited her, years ago when I did these, but when I did the Thranduil sword and I did my Sergeant Calhoun rifle, she actually did the blueprints for those for me.
Cute.
Yeah.
And here we are full circle talking about her patterning skills.
Yep. Many years ago, back when I did those. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. So
that is just so cute.
Known her for a while. She's an awesome builder too.
We should start tagging people when we post. We should tag the people we've talked about. Dang, that's a good idea, huh?
Yeah, it just takes time.
Everything takes time.
Well, the thing is, it's like I have to like edit the the episode. I have to do all that, and then you go to the post.
So I'll make the list.
And then if we don't note while we're recording, then you have to re-listen to the episode to remember who you talked about. It sucks. So that's why I usually don't do that.
I should probably just write them down along the way.
Probably.
We should be more,
we should be more organized, but
I've been getting real organized with my inside life. My outside shop life is a little crazy. Yeah. But my pattern organization is next level. I have like all these little cute like foldy things, and they're folder things and things that go in the folders. I mean, whatever.
I was just thinking, I was thinking about I was wondering about the podcast, like if we've been on for a year yet, but we got a few months to go. So anyway, whatever.
A few months to go. Yeah. And we're going to do, how many, I wonder when if you go to RenCon with me, then we'll get to do a podcast there, hopefully. That would be so fun. How do we do that? How do we do a podcast there?
I don't know. We'd have to figure out the technical difficulties of it, but.
Oh, crap. What if cons want to take us out as guests to do podcasts there, and then we're like, oh, but we don't really know how to do that. We just show up. We're like, here's our pencil and paper. We're just going to write down what we talk about. We'll just do a little write-up later, a blog.
We'll have to get a sponsor and see if we can get some equipment.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of equipment we would need.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we are the newbiest. Sorry, guys. You tuned into the newbiest podcast around. Other people are like all fancy and they have like setups.
Now we're just like discussing podcast business in the podcast.
In the podcast, they're like, "What the? Do they mean to turn this on? This is boring. This is so boring."
Okay, this must mean we're close to the end of the episode. If we're housekeeping.
That episode where we talked about pie and cake, I did get a lot of comments about, or a lot of like little jokes about like pie or cake being better. And obviously, I should know that the world prefers cake, but wrong. They're wrong. You should prefer pie.
No, pie, definitely.
What's wrong with you guys? Like, so many people like cake. I just don't understand. They're like,
now you got me thinking about pie.
I know. I have stuff inside to make a cake, and I've had it for a while, but I'm like, I have no interest in making you.
I haven't had pie since Christmas. It's been a while.
Remember I told you my family didn't have pie this year at Christmas.
How is that possible?
I don't understand it. I feel like I feel like I need to have an intervention and like sit down with them.
Yeah. Right?
My birthday's coming up in a month, less than a month.
Did you have to break out your emergency pie? Did you have an emergency pie?
No, I should have. Yeah. What's wrong with me?
Next year, have an emergency pie just in case.
Well, this year for my birthday, I'm sending a group email out to my family and letting them know I do not want cake. Do not give me cake. You didn't give me pie at Christmas time. You're giving me pie for my birthday.
Oh yeah, that's a completely reasonable request.
That's a reasonable request. And I think they'll be like, you're a grown adult. You could just go get your own pie. That is not the thing. That's not the reason.
Is your birthday in February or March?
My birthday is March 3rd.
March 3rd. Okay.
Yeah.
I will make a note of that.
I'm pretty excited about having a birthday.
That's the first day of Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh my gosh, I know, because I was really excited that it was early, and then I contacted them to see if they wanted me to be a guest at their con and come hang out with you guys, but they were just like silent. They didn't say anything back. We have that kind of relationship, me and people.
Yeah.
Me and some people just don't talk. They don't talk. I talk at them and they don't talk back. So, but it's my birthday weekend, and that would have been fabulous.
That would have been great. There's going to be there is going to be a lot of great people at Emerald City Comic Con this year. I am really looking forward to it.
I know there are. What the heck, dude? But it doesn't matter. I'm coming to Seattle later on. Later on, I'll be there, y'all.
Thanks to RenCon. Shout out to RenCon.
I know. Shout out to Brian.
Brian at RenCon.
Shout out.
Very cool. Okay.
That's cool. So we've had a good time. I feel like you guys that are listening are just like, what did they talk about this episode? What did we talk about?
This is our
We started this podcast talking about Black History Month.
This is our Seinfeld episode. It's the episode about nothing.
This is the episode about nothing. You're right. That's so funny. But yeah. So
we hope you all enjoyed our episode about you're right. We did start talking about Black History Month, and
we started on like such a really good
that is not nothing. Okay, so
yeah, exactly.
I amend my thought. Yeah. So we talked about.
We probably should have prepared to come up with a really nice list of people of color cosplayers. But we just didn't prepare. We just start shouting.
Yeah, but that's if we actually had a plan.
You're right. That's if we had a plan.
If we had a plan. Man. No.
It's like, what do we plan? Do you plan anything in your life?
Me?
Yeah, do you plan stuff?
I don't know. I guess.
I don't think you do. I don't plan anything. I'm just kidding. I plan real life. So like the Jackie that isn't this Jackie, like I planned yesterday to go to my business attorney and get my LLC paperwork. And then I planned today to pick up the LLC paperwork. So I planned some really boring stuff. But as far as my exciting, happy life, I don't plan any of that.
I don't either. I made a doctor's appointment yesterday.
I called to make a dentist appointment.
That's a plan.
And those are real things.
And I almost made an eye appointment because, as I said before, I think I need to get my eyes checked. But the clinic I go to, it's like you can make all the other appointments online, but for some reason the optometry you can't. And I hate calling places to make appointments.
I always have to call places. So. Nobody does anything online here.
Yeah. I would never go. But so there you go.
Yeah. Well, and like the craziest thing is like, yeah, I don't need. Never mind. I take that back. It's not crazy. I was going to talk about dentist stuff. Like, no,
hey,
you guys be like, oh no, unsubscribe.
What was that episode? No, I was talking about. We talked about something mundane a couple episodes back. That was funny. What was it? We talked
about. Was it? Oh gosh, it was bad.
But now we're talking about stuff we talked about before.
We talked about underneath my foundation, the dehumidifier. Don't worry, guys. We won't talk about it.
Mold in your
I'll never do that to you again.
Mold.
I was like, cosplay related mold thing. Real talk, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Steel Barrel Cosplay.
Oh, yes. Man, Mike.
Shout out to Steel Barrel.
Mike,
I'm so sad for you.
Mike and Ashley.
Yes, Mike and Ashley are incredible. And he did the Prophet Velen cosplay at BlizzCon this year.
Which was incredible. And he placed with it.
Yes, he did. And I got to interview him, and it was so much fun. I love him. And he traveled back from BlizzCon, stored his costume, and then went to pull it out. And
to do a photo shoot because he hadn't actually done an actual photo shoot with it yet.
All he had was like con photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had black mold.
All over it.
And it gives me chills just thinking about it. I can't imagine that feeling. And go check him out on Instagram if you haven't yet, if you don't follow him. And he'll show you the pictures of like the mold on the costume. It was not salvageable. And as you can imagine, you don't want to try to salvage it if you can't kill it.
Not black mold.
I just couldn't believe it. All he had left was like the prosthetics and like the silicone parts. But man, my heart feels. I just feel so bad.
Then your heart just sank when you saw that. I was just like, that has got to be so.
Matt's not even into cosplay. Yeah. He's like, what happened to the Prophet Velen? And I was like, yes. How did he thought it was notable because we have like mold issues here. This is a new building and we had mold spores in our first like 4 months.
Yeah.
Which mold spores exist in your environment no matter what, but mold spores that reproduce and like land on fabrics and things like it can be a problem. And to see that happen to his costume, gosh, y'all.
I know and they really only build for BlizzCon, so he spends they spend like 9-10 months building,
Just think about your favorite thing and imagine if it was destroyed.
Just like destroyed, boom.
You couldn't salvage.
Yeah, by nasty black mold. There you go.
Like that's like my King variant. If something happened to my King variant and it was just like gone, I would be so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I would think about that. I met Jeff Kaplan in that costume. If you know who that is, high five. I was so excited. I was just like, it's like there are certain things that you just don't like. They're you don't sell them, you don't throw them away because they're important to you. And I imagine his BlizzCon costumes, like he wants to keep all those for as long as he.
Yeah,
they're always good.
Yeah.
So
one of the top builders out there, definitely. So.
And such a fun guy.
All right. Anyway. Way to end an episode on it.
So we covered mold.
Yeah.
Ended with mold.
Moldy costumes.
And it's not molding and casting. It's just mold.
It's just mold. Yeah.
Just the culprit, mold.
Yeah. All right. We're done.
We're done. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you stuck with us this long. Crimped hair.
No! Just kidding. Everybody crimped their hair.
Crimped hair.
Just mention crimping their hair. Come on, baby.
Just mention crimped hair. There you go.
I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see how many people message me about crimped hair.
I know. It's going to be so much fun. All right. See you next time. Thank you, everybody. Bye.